Big news this morning, Jacob Weitering, 6 years, blue for life. I mean, it's great reward for Jacob, but, I mean, they've secured such an All-Australian, secure backman there. I mean, that is a huge deal, Barnes, isn't it, 6 years?
Yeah, well, definitely. They've secured their future at Carlton over the past sort of few years. They've got Harry Mackay signed up. They've got Charlie Curnow signed up. They're both beyond 2029. Jacob Weitering now goes to 2031 because he had next year already on the books. All-Australian keyback. I don't think anybody can dispute that he deserves pretty much all they're going to pay him. He's held that backline together for most of it. But, Macca, that opens us up to the next discussion. Carlton is paying a lot of players already. They're going to have to pay more players even more money.
Absolutely, and one of them will be Tom De Koning. We know that.
He's next?
That's one. He's next in the wheelhouse in terms of what Carlton want to do. They really want to get him signed up. He's got next year's contract, and then comes the restricted free agency in that sense. But they want to get it done before opening round next year. Okay. Really keen. He's potentially. We had him on the Herald Sun AFL Rich 100. We had him on 650 to 750 after signing that 2 years. But he's potentially $1 million player in that sense. And so they really want to get that done nice and early. There's a couple of others they have to do. Sard, they won't be in the millions, but Sard and Chera as well. This is a question that you make a really good point, Barnsley. How many millionaires can a club have? Like, potentially Carlton, if you look through it, they've got to do Walsh as well. You know, you've got some of those other, Cripps, Curnow, you've got guys like that. Weitering will be on $1 million for sure. Is 5 too many to have at your club in that window right up to the $1 million?
Well, there's a little bit to unpack. So the first of all is $1 million this year, next year is different to what it used to be. So we do need to accept as an industry that $1 million is more common. Now, the first one on De Koning is absolutely he's worth $1 million in his next contract because someone is prepared to pay him well over that. 1.2, 1.4, 1.5 if you're really desperate.
There will be huge offers.
So $1 million is unders for him to stay at Carlton. So what is the number? Now, the piece here is we've seen clubs in the past, and I'll use Geelong as an example, that were well known for having a more balanced or a more even spread. Therefore, you're able to keep your talent all together. But if you want to pay these guys top-end dollar, you need to give up something on the bottom end, or you're asking other players to play for less. So the big boys get the big packet, but someone else has to take the difference. So if you can manage the cultural piece,
club money.
If you can manage the cultural piece behind the scenes and make sure that everybody is content with what they've got, then it is okay. But it can create. Not division, because I think that's too harsh, but it can create conversations where things aren't even.
I think they've done it really well so far. Like no one wants to leave Carlton if you look at it. Even well,
they want to go there.
They want to go
the
there.
Opposite.
That's the thing. So I think they've done a really good job in managing that as well. 5 seems a lot in that bracket, 900 to $1 million. The Sam Walsh thing, he comes out at the end of 2026, so they'll need to find some extra money for him as well. They are really confident they can recontract all these guys, but sometimes, as you say, Dicko, guys have to, fall out the bracket, don't they?
My piece on that, it just quickly would be, if I was another club and I had interest outside of the top liners, someone's not getting paid what they're worth.
Definitely.
So don't worry about the big boys. They're getting their pockets lined. I'd be going to the next tier of players about, hey, you're getting underpaid because they're paying so-and-so and so-and-so. That's who I'd be targeting.
Well, that leads into my discussion quickly, Barnesy. So you got 4 millionaires there, sitting there at the top end. How many Geelong have?
Jeremy Cameron's the only one on our rich list.
He was one.
One this year. And you're saying, can you pinch those ones underneath? The Cats have done that beautifully in terms of not overpaying players. And they're not quite at that yet, Carlton, but they have to pay those players.
They want to keep them. They're right in the window, aren't they?
The hard bit is they're all worth it.
That's it.
They're actually all worth it.
Cripps, are you kidding me?
I think he'll be on 1.7. He should be, but that's the thing. They are all worth it. So you've got to work out a way. And I think, as I say, I think they've done a really good job. Nick Austin's done a great job in fitting them all in. It gets a bit tight from here on in.
Yeah, and that's the pressure we're already seeing this year. Matt Owe's kicked 33 goals. He's pretty much out of the club at the moment. He wants a new contract. They say we probably can't afford you. They wanted to move on Matt Kennedy. He's got a deal next year, but they can't really force him out. So you start pushing players outside the door once it gets to this stage.
Have they timed this perfectly? So you got Weitering today. Are we expecting De Koning by the end of the week?
I think that'll take a little bit longer. If I'm his management, I'd be trying to hold out a little bit, absolutely, because we know how good he can be. He showed this year when he wasn't playing, Carlton wasn't the same. They were not the same team. So I think they want to get it done over summer. It'd be ideal if they could announce it before opening round, but I think this will roll on. What they'll do now is they'll get rid of trade period, and that's the one they'll be ramping up.
Are you tipping them premiership next year?
They should be top 4. If they play anywhere near their potential, they're clearly top 4.